Hello everyone, welcome to Ring Diaries, where we talk about anything and everything to do with marriage. Here at Church of Uganda Family TV with me, Phiona Mbowa, where we bring you real people sharing real experiences and seeing that we make our marriages better. Today we are honored to host Rita. She's going to tell us more about herself. And we're talking about preparing ourselves for marriage. So people out there, if you have a young bride coming along, please come and join us and let us have this discussion. You're very welcome, Rita.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you for hosting me. My name is Rita Nanozi Ssewakka Kimuli. Ssewakka is for my father, Kimuli is for my husband. I work with the Office of the Prime Minister in the Directorate of Monitoring and Evaluation. I am a baker, I do very many things, and I do bridal showers.
And that's why she's qualified for this topic. But just to understand, how long have you been married?
7 years.
And how has been the 7 years?
Yeah, it has been like somehow tough, somehow easy. Yeah.
Do you think your bridal shower prepared you for those 7 years?
Not really. They were talking when you're in bridal shower, when you're the bride, like you're in cloud 9. What they are talking is basically, I think, they're telling you things and you can't hear them, by the way.
Actually,
all you want is to get to that day, wear that gown, have fun, dance with your girls. Yeah, that's it.
So for starters, do you think it's actually proper that we have those bridal showers towards the wedding?
Yes, because sometimes there are some clips that really come in and you remember what they were talking up to you and you're like, who's said this? And then sometimes when people do the recordings at bridal showers, like you go back and watch and you're like, I didn't hear this. Yeah, so even the vows, you just read the vows, you can't really know the meaning of the vows. But when things like really hit you, you're like, let me go back to the vows, and then you do, you do recall.
No, but you see, as you've said, usually towards the wedding, your mind is, decorator is calling me, this person is calling me. Are we in the right space to actually be having those conversations?
That's to the extreme, because there are some people who have like organizers, they prepare for them. Even they have like relatives or parents who are hands-on, and for you it's just to be a bride. And there are those who be on the calls, but there are those who have really good support. But the bridal shower, basically, I think sometimes it brings in the love that you have from other people, the well-wishers who wish you well, to show you that you're going into this thing, but enjoy. Let's first enjoy now. Hey, as
your girls.
Yeah.
Why don't men have bridal? Okay, what would they become? Groom shower.
I think as men are men, like they think they think they know it all. I don't want to
many
say
times they
many
don't.
times, yeah, they don't. But the church, we really thank the church that calls in for those counseling sessions, and really thank those churches that are really strict. That if in case you don't come with your man, you have to repeat that session, because it is really, really critical to do both of you.
Because sometimes it worries. You're getting an overly prepared woman and taking her to an unprepared man, and already chaos starts from there. So, minus the excitement of bridal showers, how should a young bride that maybe is watching, or someone who wants to get married, or a parent who's preparing maybe their child to get married, what are those things that they need to discuss before they get into marriage?
Talk about parents. Sometimes the girls cannot open up to the parents.
Yes, but the parent can identify someone who can talk to you.
Yes. So basically what I tell like the girls or the people who are preparing the girls into marriage is that we should not really base, most times when you go to the bridal showers, they are really excited about the sex part.
Only
that's the thing they be waiting for to hear from you. So, but basically, really, marriage is not about the sex.
Isn't it?
Not really.
It is.
Not really. What if you reach there and it doesn't work? And it's not working? Yeah, so basically, marriage is not about sex. It's about very many things, how you take care of your home, how you're going to develop, because it's you two people who have come together, become one, and then to build the kingdom of God. So what is in the kingdom of God? There are very many things we have to multiply. Yes, it might not work, but you have to multiply. So that's why, like me, I tell the girls that marriage is not really about sex, but it's about preparing yourself and have that altar, because all the answers like the challenges we get in this world, it's only God who can respond to them. That's why, like, I always tell them that what is your time of prayer, and what is your time of like, what's your altar time? So for me, my altar time is midday. I really want to thank God for, like, in office there are some ladies, one is called Teddy, another one is called Becky. They set up a prayer altar at midday. So I saw that and I was like, can I join? And then they really allowed me to join. So I really want to thank God that they established that thing. So every time at midday, even, like, it comes automatically to you that this is the time I need to talk to my God, because every day we face very many challenges, and especially in marriage. And like, families, the basic unit of society. Once you're not okay at home, everything else, just for
So first of all, we need to establish altars.
Establish your altar.
Should it be a personal altar, or establish it with this man I'm going to get married?
Because when you like, I'm talking about your own personal altar, like that's when you can tell God that this man, my children, my workmate, like, everything starts from there. Your personal communication with God. You don't bring in other people. Yes, maybe you can have a family altar as everyone comes together, but there are some things that you really
you and your God.
You and your God, that you have to talk, and you say, today, my Father, I'm here. This and this is happening. Yeah, so that's it.
So we need to have an altar.
You have to have an altar, and then don't come with expectations in marriage. Yes, you can have an expectation.
But
I have to do this.
Do you know how long we've been preparing for marriage? Like, in our minds.
Once you set, it's expectations that really, really mainly hurt us so much. Like, you expect this person to love me this way,
send me flowers
to take me to talk to me in this way, to send me, maybe if it gets a person of love language. Your love language is gifts. And I expect a gift
every time he comes back.
Flowers. Now, me, I'm a person of quality time. Maybe I want him to create time for me. We go for dinner. We just be together. What if it doesn't happen?
What if it does?
No, we thank God that it has happened. But if in case it has not happened, it's not the end of the road. No. And then when you enter into this marriage, just know, there's nothing like divorce. God hates divorce. It's mostly maybe it's life-threatening. Like the person beats you. But if in case it's not that, please stay. Don't look at divorce as the final. As an option. Don't enter into marriage seeing divorce as an option. So that's what I always tell the people. And then we dive into, like, really homemaking, like, how is your kitchen? Like, once you are at home or somewhere and you close your eyes, like, how do you see your kitchen? How do you see your sitting room? How do you see yourselves?
How should we see? Help us how should we see our kitchen? When I close my eyes and see my kitchen. Wow.
So I tell the ladies that the way your house is the way you've accepted your house to be. Because the scripture calls us, like in Proverbs 14, that a wise woman does what? Builds her home.
I think we should even read that one, because people may think we are making some of these things up. Proverbs 14:1.
14.
Yes, the wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands the foolish one tears her down.
Thank you. So if basically, like, for us, we set a target, and then even also it depends on the way when you talk to your man. Sometimes, because one time my dad told me that if in case a man does not build, most men, like, on a percentage of 95, like, they take a bit, like, that's why I think that's why most times they tell you that maybe get married to someone who is older than you. What we think? I don't know. I don't want to conclude, because for us women, we are really different. Like, so I told myself that, you know what, we are in a small house, but at least 5 years or 4 years should not find us in such a house. So you start devising such means, and that's when I told you to have an altar. then God will teach you on how you're going to achieve it. Because you can't achieve it in your own might. It's only the Spirit of God that can guide you on how you're going to save about it, on how, where even you're going to buy the land, or even someone can give you the land, and then how are you going to, then we started saving with like a hardware shop, because that cannot come from your own wisdom. But once the Spirit tells you that, you know what, if in case you've got like 500,000, pretend you've got 250, put that 250 away, because you have now a target. And then you're like, you know what, you just have to have a very clear picture of how you would want your marriage to look like.
But now, Rita, what if I have that clear picture and the man I'm marrying has a different picture altogether?
That's why we have Proverbs 21 say, when you want to read, it says the king's heart is in God's hands. So once you go to that altar, you're going to,
change this heart.
I'll place Mukama. I have come here because I cannot manage your son.
His vision is
his vision is this one.
Man.
Yes, so you place his heart in God's hands. He's the only one who is going to change it. Don't enter marriage thinking that you're going to change that man. Please.
That is the other thing, actually.
Please.
Most women like, those small things he has, let me get married to him. I'm going to change him. Does that ever work?
And then we really serve a God of excellency. So you come into this marriage knowing that I serve a God of excellency, and I also have to need to do excellent things. If in case you're to clean your house, clean it in a good way. If in case you, like me, I have a policy that we do not sleep on colored bed sheets. We sleep on white bed sheets. Even my children, they have to know that at home, mommy doesn't like colored bed sheets. What? And that's the policy that, like, they have to learn such things. That at home we do this. At home we do this. I always tell people, we don't want to find your cleaning rag in the corner of the house. No, we serve a God of excellency. Yes, and then a visitor comes, you've not prepared for them. Like, you have no towels specific, like towels for visitors. We serve a God of excellence. So let us do excellent things.
The girls that you don't do, they say, but are those things expensive?
No.
Because you're talking about having special visitor towels. You're having a clean house. Doesn't that all come with a cost?
No, not really. Not really, because there are some people who have, like, for example, what does it take to clean a house? To have a clean house? People who have those things of a bought yogurt and you keep that tin for salt. You have a tin of Blue Band, you keep it for tea leaves. Yet Chinatown has come and they have very many things that are very cheap, like tins of 4K. You can't afford to buy a tin of 4K. And then there's nothing you can fail to achieve once you have a target. And there are some people, you can find a lady who is selling charcoal, and she has educated her children.
Yes, that's true.
And in good schools.
Very good, expensive schools.
Yes, and she has set a standard for her children. How has she managed to achieve it? It's about maybe for us doing laissez-faire things in our marriages.
So we need to come in this marriage knowing what I want out of my marriage.
Yes.
If it is I want only white bed sheets, it should just be white bed sheets.
Let your husband not find Serena only in white bed sheets in hotels, but also at home.
Who is coming that. You see, that's what I'm saying. You're talking to
you find a way, because the scriptures are so clear that a smooth answer, there's something that what turns away like the wrath.
The anger.
Yes. So there is a way you try to communicate to him. One time I learned from some lady called Manuela. She has a show called Bump Love. And then they were teaching us of how to have one-liners. So when you learn one-liner, you don't become a nagging person. You don't have to have very many words. Say one sentence, but which is very complete. For example, my husband plays football every day, but one time, maybe
every day?
Yes, almost every day. I think that's his exercise part. But he used to come home. Remember, I use white bed sheets, even white duvets or white pillows. So sometimes I play around with them, but mostly white. So, but he used to come in and sit on the bed. It's very, very clean, and he does not find any problem in it. But for you can talk to him and be like, I wish if in case you can come back home and shower immediately so that you settle at once.
So it's not about
It's
the
not.
bed.
You're not saying,
Yeah.
but now
You're
you
making
guys
my
are.
bed
Yeah.
better.
No. You've brought it
You're
in a
saying,
different way. At least you rather settle at once when you've showered, then we serve you better when you clean and yeah. So you've brought it, but it's
So even the way we just talk about some of these things actually makes sense.
yes.
Interesting. Okay. So what other things do we need to prepare for?
Finances, poverty. I don't like poverty, man. I really don't like poverty. Yeah. So I
But
really.
girls don't like to work. Or if they want to work, they want to keep their money for themselves.
No, and thank you for talking about that. When we enter this marriage, kindly Romans 8 says what? We have this world, but we should not be conformed to the standards of this world. There is nothing like my money, my woman's my money. Sentence because over those or your aunties or anyone or your relative telling you or guardian telling you that keep your money. But how are you going to create you came together to become one person. And then one thing that I have in life, I always feel that I don't have that spirit. Like I have a spirit of like of course you have a spirit of discernment that you can see that this money is these deals that we are going to enter into, they are not worth it. But also have a spirit of detachment that this money is money. It's just money.
Shillings, no singa, it is money.
Even though you're adding dollars, even though you're adding dollars, but enter into that marriage. Just know because anytime they see your man or you have built a house, even though it's you who has put in too much, they're going to appreciate your man because the scripture says that if the man found a wife did what? Finds favor. So if in case your man is not finding that favor in you after getting you, you're the problem. Something I always tell people.
Rita, you're putting a lot on us.
Not really. But remember, we are really helpers. We have to be good helpers. And when you read Proverbs 31, that woman was very hard working.
That man was lazy.
He was not lazy.
That man was lazy.
He found confidence in her.
The man was always sitting at. Actually, I keep telling people, I think to be a Proverbs 31 wife, you need a lazy man because he was always sitting at the city gate. Yes. When the woman is waking up early to do work.
How about he was from making his deals? How about he's an
investor? But anyway, yes. I agree that these things of my money and his money,
it does not work. It does not work. Now for me, the police I entered into my house, like I entered marriage and I was like, you know what? I was one time in sale in Kansanga. I used to stay with my judge, Mama Jovan. In Kansanga there in Lukuli. So I used to go for some sale, I mean Matoto, in some sale. And then some lady, they were telling us, they were asking us in those icebreakers of what has your parents like done to you to break over the spirit of poverty or something, to leave a legacy. And then some gentleman said that the dad saved money for them. And then the moment they were leaving campus, they would give you your account, you buy land, you buy yourself a car, and then you start a business. How much was that? That's a lot. So once I grasped that and I entered marriage, I started to save for every child of mine. I opened up accounts in YSave. YSave is our total thing. So every child has to save at least 100,000 without fail, because our God is a God of consistency. So you have without what? So this thing that, because I have 3 children, I have 2 girls and 1 boy. Once I leave hospital like this, they have to get their accounts immediately. So I believe by the time they reach the age of 18, or they are leaving campus, money would have accumulated. So I made that to myself. As a woman, you have to be a wise woman to do what? And this thing I told you, you can't just get it from anywhere to our altar. And then God is going to you're going to tell God now this money I have to save money for myself, for my retirement, because Uncle D told us once you enter your job, once you get your contract like this, start your retirement. So I have to save for my retirement. I have to save for all my personal things, or the children, and then so I tell people, once you know that I have to save this amount this month, and you're waiting for only salary, yet God says, I'll bless the works of your hands. What are you doing? You can make your pancakes. I used to make pancakes. I used to make chapatis. I would wake up at 5, make my pancakes when I was still not married. I was living at my daughter's place. I would make pancakes, do daddies, make daddies, because I wanted God to bless the works of my hands. And then one time I was like, but God, these things are not, like, the money is not coming.
The white,
I want it. Give me another thing. And then people get visions from different places. I got my vision from the toilet. I know some people get to their visions from the toilet.
Especially mothers, like it's the only place you run away from children.
Yeah. So I got my vision, and then God was just showing me a big bakery. Yeah, so I started to bake. Slowly by slowly, I got some money from office. There's some lady who was my boss by then. She gave me some money, and I started to do the business. So my husband was telling me, no, wait, we first go to the big house. We first build our house. I'm like, no. God has said, I do this. I start. We don't have money. I have some money. I came with a solution on the table. Yes, I have some money. We can start small with the cups, with the measuring cups, with what, because I know where I want to go. And remember, I wanted to leave the house after 4 or 5 years. So I really needed to have something hands-on. And then now I started praying that God should bless the works of my hands and should bring in those cake orders. So that's where the journey came from.
Wow. So this whole thing about money is a big problem for especially girls getting into marriage. But for me, I take it back to the people speaking to the girls. We keep telling girls that a man may do something. Please make sure you have your. So I'm glad that you've actually talked about it, and I hope the girls out there, you have had this.
And it's open. He knows that we have to save for the children.
We have to save. But also, you as a person, you need to bring something to the table.
Yeah, you have to. At least, like, Vanny, things at home are really so. Like, there are very many bills nowadays. You have TV. You have now the helpers. You have transport.
Wi-Fi.
You have to take. There are really so much. Like, if in case you put everything on the man, and ladies, when are you going to develop? And then also a woman who has her own, who has some money. It's easy even to take care of yourself because you have salon. Nails are how much nowadays? Nails are so expensive. You have to work on your hair. You have to work on it. You need like a spa. Cause me, I do spas. I have to. Once you really take care of the inside of you and even on top,
it shows.
Yes. And then like money issues, you have to be clear. You have to know who is the saver and who is the spender, so that you can find a balance. And then there are those people who are risk takers, who want deals, quick money.
No, so you want to invest everything, even the food you're going to eat.
Kindly take care of this issue when you're still dating. Be open about this issue, because money really separates. That's why at church we have power, sex, and money. Money can break the family.
So ladies out there, as you're preparing for that marriage, please don't come into marriage to be taken care of. I feel like it become a burden.
Yeah,
like you're putting everything on the man. Come with solutions, just as you say, not just problems. Interesting. So apart from money, what other things do we prepare for? And also, this is not just for those who are getting married. You can start to revise your marriage and like, how am I handling things here? So what else do we talk to these young girls who are for marriage?
Relatives, dealing with relatives.
What is it with relatives?
Because there's some families that for example, like the man was the one taking care of the family, his previous family, and he has come in with the sisters, with his baggage. You also want to bring some of your baggage. That's why in Uganda we really have a very huge
black tax.
Not even black tax. The burden syndrome. Like we have. The dependence syndrome is really so huge. Like we have one person who is taking care of the what?
The whole clan.
Yes, the whole clan. There is one time I was in a workshop, and there's some gentleman called Dr. Ochichi. I think you know him, Ochichi. He said that you're not UN. You're not UN. Even UN gives you a small percentage. Even now, UN sometimes are pulled out. Pulled out. So you're not UN. Just know you're not UN, and you're not going to solve everyone's problems. You're not. You do what you can, and you have to be open.
We fear they will hate us, and they will say the woman he married has made him stop
Now,
being helpful.
now the thing is, the man, he's supposed to defend you on his side, and you're supposed to defend him on your side. So my husband, one time he made a statement and said, everyone who wants, because he said you're very soft, that everything they need they're going to ask you. Say he drew a boundary line, and I was like, no, don't post that, no, you just leave it. No, he said, no, I have to protect you, and leave me to protect you. And he said, anything you need from my wife, kindly go through me.
Wow.
From his side, and then my
Because
side.
they can actually take advantage.
Yeah, they really take advantage. And then we have this policy that if in case it's Christmas, before we started the saving part, what, like to know that in Christmas we have to take care of your side and we have to take care of my side. Before, my husband would send money to my side using his phone, and then me, I would send money to his side.
Nice.
So that they know that we
That
are
you're doing it together.
Yeah, we are doing it together. We are not doing
Everyone.
yeah. Do you know there are some people who just hide money because I want to send to mommy? No, we sit down and be like, mommy, see, order this. Or what do you think? How much should we send? Because we told you can't finish someone's problems. Remember, you also have to
even
take
to grow
care.
this family.
Yeah. So once you put on the entire burden on yourself, it's going to wear you down. And in life, people will never appreciate you. They cannot appreciate you.
However much you try,
Yeah. So you just know you can just do your part.
But together still.
But together, remember, together. I have a sister-in-law. Anything you ask her, Barbara will first say, let me first talk to my husband about it, and that should be the policy.
That should be the policy.
Of someone else. Let me first talk to my husband, because anything that backfires, it's going to come on both of you.
That's true. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to continue this conversation. Don't go away. I'm Phiona Mbowa here at Church of Uganda Family TV with Ring Diaries.